Namaste. I am Dr. Shuchi from India, bringing a warm greetings to all. The topic of my study is to assess diagnostic yield of cervical cytology in a tertiary care center of India, sharing a 5-year experience. The objective of my study was, firstly, to find out the pattern of various cervical smear abnormalities. Secondly, to study spectrum and prevalence of epithelial cell abnormalities in our study population. In India, cervical cancer is the second most common cancer in women. Globacon 2018 reported more than 96,000 new cases and greater than about 60,000 deaths in a year. In wake of WHO call for elimination of cervical cancer, there is an urgent need to shift from opportunistic to population-based screening. And various studies have shown that women with pre-invasive lesion have a 5-year survival rate of nearly 100%. In absence of screening, nearly 70,000 of cervical cancer patients in India present in stage 3 or 4. So in present study, we screened all sexually active women between age of 21 to 65 years who attended our outpatient department for various complaints for a duration of 5 years from January 2016 to December 2020. The cytology data were retrieved from hospital records, data was analyzed, and women who had a visible growth were excluded from the study. The cytology, either taken through liquid-based cytology or through pap smear, was reported by Bethesda System 2014. The lesions were classified into negative for intraepithelial lesion or those with epithelial cell abnormalities that include glandular lesions or squamous cell lesions. And women who had either low-grade squamous intraepithelial lesion or atypical squamous cell of unknown significance or diagnosed to be having high-grade squamous intraepithelial lesion or SCL, those women were referred for colposcopy and if required, directed biopsy. And when we analyzed our results over a span of 5 years, we found out that in past 5 years, approximately 14,510 women were screened. And our study cohort, most of the women were in the age range of about 30 to 50 years, and mostly they were multiparous. The most common presenting complaint with which they presented was vaginal discharge seen in 38.4% women, followed by irregular menstrual cycle in 14.6%, and about 19% presented to us with a complaint of pain abdomen. And approximately 22.2% of the women were asymptomatic. When we analyzed our cytology smear results, we found out that 0.24% of the smears were reported to be inadequate and about 8.8% harbored some kind of infection as either trichomoniasis, candidiasis, and even in 3 cases, we found out to be a rare actinomycetes organism. Reactive cellular changes were seen in 4.6% of the cases, and low-grade squamous intraepithelial lesion was seen in 5.5% of the cases. High-grade squamous intraepithelial lesion was seen in 1.2% of the cases, and ascus was reported in 3.1% cases. And SH was reported in 0.19% of the cases, and even in 2 cases, we found out frank squamous cell carcinoma, that is in 0.01% of our cases. And when we further analyzed our result, we found out that low-grade squamous intraepithelial lesion was the most common epithelial cell abnormality in our study population, followed by ascus, then, and about 2/3 of our abnormal epithelial lesions were found in age group of around 40 years and above. So to conclude, still in present scenario, cervical cytology is effective method to screen for precancerous lesion of cervix. And to strengthen our cytology reports, we need to conduct regular audits to assess the adequacy and quality of the reporting of cervical cytology. And there needs to be developed increased awareness of various cytological features, especially of glandular lesion. And we need to develop a good clinician laboratory communication. A regular cytohistological review should be done to further improve diagnostic standards. Thank you.